my name is Mike Bartlett. I'm with Ameresco. I'm a business development manager for Ameresco. I'm up here in Anchorage, Alaska, and I'm going to explain to you how the energy savings performance contracting process works.
Okay.
You enter into a loose agreement with an ESCO like myself, and you being a customer is a school district, a village, local state government, city, borough, or the federal government, the military.
Not private sector.
Usually not private sector. We do some commercial, but they typically have a payback requirement that's usually in months, and government municipal customers usually go 10, 15 to 20 years. So it makes projects more doable. Us and all our competitors will do a preliminary analysis. This was a process that I developed for one of the Anchorage groups, ACDA. They have all the parking garages here and some other facilities. We'll do a preliminary analysis, and we'll go through and we'll look at utility bills. We'll look at, do quick walkthroughs of the facilities and come up with ways, different ways that we could save money for them, whether it's just lights, water fixtures, whether we could recommission the building HVAC system, whatever it is, we get that full laundry list of things. We submit that to the customer. They look at that, and if they're interested, what they'll do is we'll get usually some kind of agreement in place. There'll be some kind of competition to officially select an ESCO, or however that process would work. Then we would commence on an investment grade audit. It's called an IGA, an investment grade energy audit. During that audit, we would go through everything in excruciating detail. We may put data loggers in to see what the equipment runs at. You get 2 full years of utility information or more, the actual bills, make sure everything is kosher and that there's no anomalies. Trend all that, look at all that, look at all the weather data. Go through all the equipment in excruciating detail, get all of the information, understand the sequence of operations of all the equipment, and we go through everything. We also have a number of meetings with the customer so that they understand what the energy baseline is, so what the energy use is before we do any work, how we're going to measure savings after we do the work, who's going to be responsible for doing maintenance on this new equipment after we leave. There's a number of things we go through and we look at. That IGA also includes, basically it's we guarantee cost, we guarantee savings, we guarantee performance of the equipment in what we write in there. That would be something then that would either be done within the framework of a contract already, or we would include an energy services contract with it. Then that would get the customer to sign that then, and we would start work. So far we've not asked for a dime. This has all been no out-of-pocket cost for the customer. We will actually install all the work, commission all the work, do the first measurement and verification to prove that it can make the savings we said it would. Then the repayment period would start. That's when the first payment would be. And what we would do is we would amortize the capital costs over a certain period term. Another thing that's predefined and when we initially meet with the customer. And they would just make a monthly or a quarterly or an annual payment. And we get paid our piece out of that. We finance that either, like in the state of Alaska here, we can finance through the Alaska Housing Finance Corp, or we have regular commercial lenders. We compete against lenders, and we don't mark up any of that. It's all pass through. All financing is pass through for us.
So how much of the savings do you take? Do you take all of it, or? No,
what we'll do is we'll take just enough savings to pay for the project, and then we'll leave a cushion on top. So we often will leave like 5%. So if we think something will save $100,000 a year, we'll only use 95% of that, or $95,000 a year, to do the payback on the term.
Okay.
So shared savings contracts, I think, are something that was done a few years ago, where you would share any savings left over, and it was too contentious because there'd always be an argument about what the actual savings were. This contractor wanted to be higher, the customer wanted to be low, you know. But no, it's a fixed fee. It's a fixed payment schedule. Once it's done.
But the organization actually has a savings, isn't just transferring that savings to you.
Correct. There's an extra amount that they get in the savings, and then as soon as the payment is made, the last payment's made, all of that's theirs. Okay. So let's say it's a 10-year project.
But then they're ready for a renewal project, right?
Sometimes we can go in and we can replace the lights again. What you do is you try to make sure, and this is the difficulty with some of the longer term projects, like with the federal government.
Right.
If you have a 20-year project, some of your equipment is going to be nearing the end of its life, and so then you price in retrofits at like 7 and 14, so that you don't leave them with something that's garbage. And we take care of that too. We make sure that's not the case. It's a fine line between looking there and your terms when you do that. But